94.4 Spice FM, Nairobi.
It's 8 after 8 and into the third hour of Kenya's biggest conversation this 22nd day of April, coming in after Easter. And guess what? We're still in the Easter mood, and shopping is right at the heart of the celebration. So Naivas, it's all about kikapu kibonge. So your basket doesn't actually need to shrink, and there are really great prices that you can take advantage of just by visiting any Naivas in your local. So we're giving you value for money. Seriously, this period, Naivas is your go-to, and it's the home of deals. With schools closed and family gatherings in full swing. Don't worry, because we've got you covered. Easter is more than just a holiday. It was a feeling of the joy of family gatherings. So you can still get into that mood, and you can still get into the home of deals, and that's any Naivas in your local. And you watch your basket expand with Kikapu Kibonge at Naivas. The home of deals is here to help you. Kijaze Kikapu Kibonge. Do it with Naivas. How's that for alliteration this morning, CT?
Profound.
Thank you, please.
Profound.
Our live streams are on YouTube, Facebook, and on X this morning. So we're taking, everybody into consideration, and also on KTN, Karibuni Sana. Our guest for this hour is in the hot seat this morning. My goodness, she looks fantastic.
Resplendent.
That's the word I was actually looking for. I just couldn't get my S's and R's, all sorted out.
Motherhood.
It does that to you?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Then my next thing is say, do it more often.
I know. I wish I could. If we didn't have elections in 27, I would go for another one.
Another baby.
Now. I'm telling you.
That's the voice and the face of nominated Senator Gloria Orwoba, and she's here in the hot seat this morning. Good morning, Senator.
Morning.
You're well?
Yes,
I mean,
am.
we can tell, but you know how we have to just ask for you to now say it. And
I
confirm
thank God
it.
I'm in good health, and I can't complain.
And you're back in the Senate.
Yes, finally.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see how long it lasts.
Oh my goodness.
A lot of pun intended.
I can hear that. And we also, of late night airport visits as well. We're seeing a lot of things going on.
Yeah. Yes.
We'll get into all of that, I'm sure. But first of all, let's welcome you to the hot seat with CT's proverb. He'll tell you which country he's in, and then you can do us interpretation.
Okay.
All right.
We're in the Republic of Mozambique.
Mozambique.
Yes, Mozambique. Part of the SADC economic groupings. On a dead tree, there are no monkeys.
On a dead tree, there are no monkeys.
No.
Yo.
Yeah.
Yo, indeed.
On a dead tree, there are no. It's almost, to me, it sounds like the one where they say a tree that has no fruits is not hit. It's not bit. It's not shaken. On a dead tree, there are no monkeys. Yeah. So the circus that is in your life is an indication that you're doing something.
Where?
Right? If there is no circus,
Yep. We asked for an interpretation and you've given us one.
Proper. We'll go with it. So speaking of circus, the government has gone broad-based. And it's interesting because the last time you were here, you made an interesting remark. And even as we look at the broad-based government and the role of women in shaping a political agenda, let's look at it at that macro level, and we'll zone in a little bit. But you made a comment and you said, look, if we've started off in a particular direction with certain people as vision bearers, and along the way we pick up, people along the road, can we still say we have the same vision? And can we expect the people that we pick up along the way to then be able to implement the original vision? Has that changed since the last time?
yes, it's changed. It's
Okay.
changed. Yeah. I'm going to be very candid. I know it's going to cost me. But I've also learned that that's what makes me different. Yeah. It's changed. It's totally changed.
Okay.
Because we started off with a vision that we all believed in. And along the way, we got all these people who didn't really believe in the vision or don't understand the vision. And obviously, then the end result is a lot of chaos.
So there was chaos.
There is chaos.
There is chaos currently?
Yeah, there's chaos.
Hey, where?
There's a lot of chaos.
What's going on?
I mean, you guys have newspapers, you're reading. There's a lot of chaos in different programs that were meant to run very smoothly, Look at the labor export program. Very basic. To implement, you go to wherever G2G, get jobs, come, give Kenyans. Why do we have so much chaos there? Because the people who are executing the vision don't really believe in it. They're looting. They're conning Kenyans. They're running with it and they don't care.
People in government.
Yes. Yes, people in government. Because the people who are executing the programs are not outsiders. They are people who are working in government. And I'm being specific about the programs I'm mentioning. For me, the labor export program was brilliant. We were going to send out, I call them expatriates. I don't know why expatriates is only limited to white people. Yeah. When we send out Kenyans to
They are
Saudi Arabia, those are
expatriates.
expatriates.
They are.
We were going to send out so many expatriates, Kenyans out there, fundis, manual laborers, you know, this technical skills from the Tibet. And we had a very good G2G program. We were going to send the cabinet secretary out there, get jobs. They go, they get jobs, they come. What happens in between? We have agents. These agents are operating in the ministry, in government offices. They're calling Kenyans. Right now, I'm dealing with people who I delivered to this program. I went to Mashinani to bridge the gap because they couldn't access computers or whatever. Picked up those people, told them there's a program, bridged the gap, brought them to government, and they were conned. And that to me is like, I can no longer sit and say that we are okay. We are not okay. I have people that I've delivered to government and they have been cheated. Their money has been taken. They have lost time. They have lost hope. They have lost, they knew that they were, you know, investing in themselves, going out to work. That's just one of the programs. If you look at certain things, like even this SHA, by the time we got stable to where we are, there was people who came in and tried to make a living out of it, make a killing out of it actually. And then at least that one was caught before it was really deep-rooted and it has been fixed. But yeah, that's the cost of bringing people who don't really believe in the vision.
But let me ask this question. Do I hear you to be saying that as UDA, you had a plan and you were clear about it? So is it the Kenya Kwanza grouping that you're referring to when you say people were brought in who didn't quite share the UDA vision?
It's
plan?
a mix.
Or are you saying this recent handshake?
No, it's a mix. It's a mix. Remember, we had all these coalitions.
Yes.
Yeah. And people are coming in last minute. We had like parties coming in really last minute just to get that pre-election agreement. Some even came after elections on a post-election agreement basis. So we have there's a lot of confusion there, but there's also confusion with those who have recently come in because they have their vision that they want to execute. And you know, you can't, and I'm not saying their vision is not necessarily good. I'm just saying there's chaos, there's confusion.
What you're saying is that, if I understand it correctly, it is not the UDA vision.
No.
They have their own.
I mean, look at what we promised the women of Kenya as the Kenya Kwanza Women Charter. I was at the front.
Yes, you
I
were.
believe in that thing like the Bible. We promised free diapers, free sanitary towels, maternal health care so that we can reduce the deaths of newborns and mothers. We promised that we are going to end GBV. FGM is going to become a thing of the past everywhere. All this, I think, with the operationalization of the Victim Protection Board, which was supposed to now come in and be handy.
Yes, you did. You
I
made
wrote
those
that
promises.
thing, so I know what I'm talking about. And then every day I open the newspaper and women are dying. And what are we doing about it? Every day I open the newspaper and something from the charter is going wrong. And it's not like we don't have control. It's just I feel like in that sector for women, we've not been intentional. So for me, coming from the place where we were there together with the vision bearer, drafting the vision and knowing and imagining at a time where FGM will be a thing of the history, and then having to get all sorts of distress calls from the ground that it's become even more rampant, you know, getting all distress calls from, like even yesterday I was dealing with this matter of the lady who was dragged in a bus, you know, just the disregard of the safety of women, you know, the utterances of the new cabinet secretary who was just sworn in the other day. I look and I'm like, this is not where we were.
So it's interesting that you say that, because yes,
But I have
actually,
to say,
it's true, because you did stand in public, thronged by other women, essentially giving a nod and saying that these things would actually happen.
And
so is it a failure of government?
At one point, you can also only do so much. Like people say, oh, it's your government, it's you promised, you wrote. Okay, how am I going to implement something by myself? I can't. I can advocate, I can shout, which is what I've been doing, but I'm starting to sound very useless.
So, Sanis, I have to ask you, when those proclamations were being made, because you essentially, and these are things that touch on the lives of, we know this, you and I, we understand this very clearly, that when you tell a woman who is economically disadvantaged that you're going to provide 3 months or lifetime diapers, whatever the case may be, even 1 month is a big deal, and you tell her you're going to do that, oh my goodness, with everything she's got, she's going to vote for you.
And you see,
if you tell her that she will go to hospital and that she will get treated and that there will be a fund that's going to take care of those things for her and her children, she will vote for you for everything within her. It's not political, it is survival.
It's survival.
So then when you don't do that,
and you see, essentially,
failed?
People ask, so who has failed, right? You know, when you go in and you're, I assume, I've never been a president. This is my assumption. Yeah. You go in, you've been elected, and then you're like, okay, I'm going to pick my team, right? The team is given the manifesto. They have to familiarize themselves with the promises we made. For instance, now, if you are going to gender, you hold on to that Kenya Kwanza Women Charter, and then you say, you know what, I might not be able to do all 15 of these things, but I'm going to focus this year on 3 things or 2 things. But they don't do that. They don't do that. You go in, you get excited, and then you just get clouded by all these things on the table, your in-tray, what. And then in the end of the day, we are like, okay, so we have a few champions here and there within government. I have championed free sanitary towels. I'm still championing it, And I eventually managed to convince the president to move it from 265 million to 1 billion. But then what happened? When the money was given, look at what we did with it. Look at how the procurement and distribution was done last financial year. Now the money is being moved to the women reps. We don't know how that's going to look like. So the end result of it is that we should give sanitary pads, right? But is that happening?
It's not.
So we talk about the vision that the Kenya Kwanza government had, and it is there, it is documented, it's in charters and whatnot. But then again, you say there are chaos. So as the vision bearer is still seated at the high seat overseeing everything else, why not just fix it? Why don't you push him to just fix it?
You see, that's why people are saying I'm ranting because nimekosewa, or we don't know about what is happening. Hizo ni maneno ya watu wawili. No, I'm upset. Like in any work structure, you come in as an employee, you're given what is expected to you, you're given tools to work with, right? And then you execute your duty. You come in as an employee, you're given tools to work with, or maybe you're given the expectations, you're not given the tools. So how does that make you feel as an employee? You get frustrated, right? So this is my season of frustration. I'm so frustrated because, I know that when my party leader scouted and was looking for people to bring in the team, I was not brought on the team because, and by the way, these Kenyans remind me every day, City, that I'm not beautiful. So I know I was not brought on the team.
Oh, you are beautiful.
because I know I was not brought on the team because I'm beautiful. That I know. I know I was brought on the team.
Let me ask you something.
Because I'm passionate about certain things and I want to execute. That is, my party leader knows why he was like, this one we can use here, right? But now I'm like, hey, you recruited me for this reason. But why are you not letting me do the things that you recruited me for?
Why
are you not being allowed?
We are here at the I'm asking this question. This is my season for ranting. This kama nimefanyikiwa, let people mimi what I can tell you right now. I'm agitated. I am not okay. And unfortunately, my character is that I speak when I'm not okay. And I'm telling Kenyans, it's not okay. It's not okay that we're dealing with femicide every day.
Okay, so let me ask this directly. That there has been appointments by the president in this, because you said there's a vision, there's a vision bearer, and then there are those who
there's a team.
There's a team. And essentially those are the vision implementers.
Yes.
They are the ones who get the work done.
Yes.
Appointed by the president, not voted in. Appointed by the president.
Yes.
That means he saw and he looked around and he said, you know what? These are people that I believe will then be able to do this. Now, they go to parliament. They are vetted, they are confirmed. Yes.
You know that last part where you said he looked at them and said, I believe these are the people that are going to do this.
I would hope he would have
I
done
don't know.
so.
I think at one point it's like, okay, we need Nani. How is it? How our agreements, Nini?
Okay, so maybe you've preempted the end of the question
telling
with
you,
that answer.
I am
So
throwing
is the
tantrums
president-
because I actually don't believe
So, Senator-
that the president does not see the things that I see.
So is the president responsible for these mistakes that we are seeing, or the lack of the implementation of these promises, or the fulfillment of these promises?
He can't run away from it.
Is he interfering?
You see,
with
it
procedure?
doesn't. Even if I hire you to execute something, and you don't do a good job, I can't say that I'm not responsible for that, because I'm the one who hired you, right? So at one point, if I see and people are telling me this person is not doing, the least I can do is fire you and get someone else. So yes, there are people really messing up, like in their execution. But why isn't the president doing anything about it?
You know him better.
I'm telling you, I'm throwing tantrums today.
Actually, if you look at places where coalitions are an entrenched way of doing political business, what you've just described is exactly what happens, and that's why you find a coalition lasts for a certain period of time, then it disintegrates.
Then it is.
Yeah, because things are simply not working. Someone figures, this thing, let's disband this thing. Either go to an election or find some other people to coalesce with again. It is not unusual. In a coalition, to get people moving in tandem and in complete agreement,
it's difficult.
It is it is extremely difficult. And remember, we are in this unique situation where we are just beginning to understand coalitions. It's not entrenched. We're beginning to understand it. And understanding coalitions from an Kenyan African perspective is, I am joining you, what am I getting?
It's not I'm joining you, what can I do to help implement the things? That's what am I getting?
I'm very
first.
clear. What am I getting? And I've come with some people here who also need to get. That's the understanding.
But it's unfortunate.
Yes, so even though they may pay lip service to you, that coalition partner, the people he brought in, listen to him, not you. They will keep saying, the president will listen. But they listen, they take their cue from this person who they know is the one responsible for the position they have. So now, if you have 7-8 coalition partners, just replicate what I've just described. What do you think you are going to see?
It's going to be chaos. That's the chaos that I'm talking about.
Precisely. So, where do you begin praising the president and where do you begin blaming him? Because you can see this is what you are dealing with. What do you do?
Which begs the question, City, with all that you've said, and Senator, you said that the president clearly hears what it is you're saying and listens. But does he really care?
I think he cares. I think it's like what City says. It's like, okay, I care, but I'm in bed with these people. What do I do? And for a long time, I would tell people, I have aspirations. I want to be the president of... I don't want to be the president of this country.
You've seen, huh?
I've seen.
This thing.
I mean, if it's like that, Stacky.
It will be worse, actually.
Because you see, like I am sitting here in studio. I am saying, Mr. President, we have a cabinet secretary of labor. Chaos in the Ministry of Labor. Thousands and thousands of Kenyans getting conned by agents under the offices in those boardrooms. Daily. I've just received a list of 1,000 who took loans of 171,000 from Youth Fund. Youth Fund fast-tracked it and processed it very quickly. And they're sitting.
Wait.
Ever since they took the loan, then they took the loan, they gave it to the agents. The agent has gone quiet. Are you understanding? They were told this loan is for your ticket and your visa. And we're not talking about 50 people, thousands.
1,000 is a lot of people.
It is.
So I've just done the
And
math.
there are other thousands who have taken now loans from Shylock or microfinance or banks. They are saying take, because they have been told here is an offer letter. The offer letters don't even have I'm telling you, the level of chaos in the diaspora jobs, honestly, someone shouldn't be fired. Someone should go to jail. Someone should be in committee sitting and just thinking through what they did.
Senator, let me ask you this question. Your function and the house that you're in, among them is oversight. We had a case in Wasingishu where there was a large-scale issue of students who were promised the very same things were students to study abroad and all manner of things. And as the story goes, 1 billion shillings later, there are very many parents who even to date are telling us, stating, it is reported, this is what we gave, and we do not know what is happening.
So you see that case, that was the handbook. And if that case you're talking about 1 billion, I'm telling you the day, we are now, Senate is doing an inquiry through the statements that I took to because now it reached a place, I'm like, okay, I'm tired of going to offices to ask what's going on, whatever the back end. I'm like, in fact, but I'm a legislator and oversight is my duty.
Yes.
So I took a statement to Parliament. It was even debated. And this thing you're talking about to Uasin Gishu, that is like a drop in the ocean if you're going to compare it with what is happening now. Because that person took that playbook and scaled it up. So the day that we will have all the thousands of Kenyans who have been conned, let me tell you, even the demonstrations we saw for Gen Z will not be
It'll be
equivalent.
mild.
Yes, it will be mild. Because what is happening is now, they are doing that, it's like a pyramid scheme. When this group complains too much and it looks like it's getting hot and senator is involved, no, they paid 55,000, they refunded 37,000, wanapoa kidogo. Hii enye wana refund inatoka kwa a new one who has just been recruited. The same agencies, I was talking to the director general, I said, why are you allowing the licenses? Why can't you just, these people have been flagged. I have given you proof. Why don't you just kill their licenses and we take these people to committee? Oh, we cannot do that. We have to allow them to pay whatever. Now, what are they doing? They are robbing from Peter to pay Paul. So today they are doing recruitments and huko kuna moto, kuna group imeenda wamechukua OB, wamefanya wako karibu kwenda demonstration. They refund a quarter of the money. Wapoe. That's what's been happening. I have shouted about this. I have been screaming about I'm dreaming about this nowadays because now I'm also feeling guilty for going to my people of my constituency
and
to bring them. I've brought them and I nikawaingiza kwa oven. Okay. So now I'm having to deal with that. Now let me ask you, a situation like that, why isn't anything happening?
This is the question, and this is good because now, it's you're on the side of the congregation who is asking questions all the time about things that happen. I want to bring your attention to
other ones could be grey, but
good,
this one is like
stark,
black,
clear,
and white.
black and
People
white.
have photos of government officers in government buildings with the people who have been conned. They have receipts, they have transaction money. This is like, there's no grey area. This is like mulikoniwa kwa ofisi. Yeah,
with the Ministry of Labour. Are they with whom the buck stops?
You see, for me, the first thing I was expecting is that the minister would come in. By now, he should have been the one giving a statement of, this has happened, this is what we are doing, we are taking this responsibility. But he's the one going around with the agents recruiting more people.
Your underlying issue here, Senator.
Are you understanding?
Yeah.
Like, and it pains me because I'm like, are you serious? You're going to do recruitment in Kisii? I have 98 people who we recruited through your agency and your government offices who have not gone anywhere. Why are you going to recruit people in Kisii County? Deal with the backlog.
We need to take a break, but let's the underlying issue here is that there are implementation agents. We're going to call them cabinet secretaries. That's who they are. They are the vision implementers. Because that's what you do. You bring people together who are in different sectors who will then implement part of your vision under different sectors. So there's an issue there. Last week, you were also quite vocal about a nominated CS who is now confirmed as CS and statements she made going into the gender docket.
Yesterday, when this lady was dragged when this issue for the lady who was dragged in the Mash Poa bus happened, I asked, so that one was looking for money? So how was she looking for money? When you say they're being killed because they're looking for money, this one who was going home, was she looking for money? Sitting in a bus, getting dragged.
Does it worry you then that those sentiments that were made
it does.
actually comes from the mouth of the one who is going to oversee
it? Doesn't
this
worry me.
document?
I got so angry, but I was like, this is my government. So I was like, contain your anger. But still, you can see.
Should she have
because
been
the truth of them. No, she shouldn't have.
I'm going to ask the question again.
She's a brilliant lawyer. She's brilliant in her industry, whatever.
Senator,
no.
Should she have been confirmed as the CS for gender and these affairs?
No. In fact, let me tell you, Adan Duale should have been our CS then. That's what we are saying is that we are. Adan Duale atfanyi.
Because that's an option.
No, because there's no difference. Because what you're trying to tell us is we are not looking for a subject matter expert. We're just looking for anyone who can hold a cabinet. in a sensitive docket like that one. And it's not because it's for women, it's because people don't really understand that ministry, that it needs a subject matter expert. But if you're saying a lawyer can go, we'll hold a hand, Adantwale can also go.
We're going to a break.
We are going on to a break. Just hold on to that thought.
Yes.
And I guess we got the answer. It's 28 minutes to 9 o'clock. Nominated Senator Gloria Orwoba is here. And we're talking about certain things, a broad-based government and what it does mean for certain areas. And if there's failure, who's going to take responsibility for it? Let's look into that when we come back from this break. It's 27 to 9.
Nairobi.
25 minutes to 9 o'clock. Nominated Senator Gloria Orwoba is here this hour and saying, you know what? Perhaps there's failure. Somebody ought to deal with it. Yes, CT?
My question was this. When you talk about the patent capability of someone who holds a ministerial docket, I'm reminded of something I have witnessed over time, people who interview badly. If you listen to the interview, the person fails at every possible front. There's nothing redeeming. But when you actually talk to them and there's no interview here, you suddenly realize they actually understand the subject matter very well.
You think that's the case?
No. I'm going to pose a question. I'm giving you a background before I pose the question. Because I do not know this person. Whoever chose her for a reason. This is really my point. So, are we saying that in the choice of this particular person, whoever fronted her, whoever decided that this is the person who should go to parliament to be vetted, did they not consider the suitability of this particular candidate? Because if we were to ask that question, you could ask that question of literally every CS we have in government. And I mean literally.
I think there are many competent CSs who understand their dockets and who are good at what they're doing now. And I think that being chosen doesn't necessarily mean you are chosen, particularly for cabinet position, because cabinet is also about regional balance, political affiliations, a lot of things. Remember, the nominee, is actually the wife of the late Cheptumo, my colleague in the Senate who passed away. So I'm not trying to say that's the reason why she was chosen.
Of course you're not.
But then there's a background there in terms of the region. I'm not the appointing authority. So the thing I can tell you is that there's an assumption that the gender docket does not require you to have any expertise. In fact, I've been telling people, you just need to be alive. A human being who's alive, you can qualify for the gender docket. And if you look at the pattern, it has been used as a sort of like token, like pole, wacha nikupe pole. Ulianguka election vibaya, wacha nikupe pole na hii docket. Hii haihitaji vitu nyingi. That's actually the unfortunate thing about the gender docket.
You see, why I raise this question is because what I've heard is a tongue-in-cheek comment regarding this particular candidate. People say, this docket, nothing positive. But she's a good lawyer. Okay. The skills that are required for someone to be a good lawyer are profound. You can't be a good lawyer by simply studying the law. There are many people who study the law and they are hopeless at the practice of law.
I have not worked with this lady.
Precisely.
But I've been told.
You've gotten to my point.
But I've been told by people in the field of law, by lawyers, advocates, and that space,
that she is a good lawyer.
She's a good lawyer.
Okay.
So I can only go by what the industry says about her.
See, I am going by that. Somebody who qualifies to be referred to as a good lawyer, surely she is good at something. Now, yes, and for this to arise, it means she has handled her cases well.
But you see, even as a good lawyer, and you're taking me to the direction I don't want to go, because Cheptumo was a really good friend of mine and used to sit behind me, and I feel like now we are discussing the wife. No, however,
I'm discussing a principle, not the person. This person,
as a good lawyer, any argument would start by innocent until proven guilty. But how she executed the case of the question is that she made the women guilty of a crime before they were even, because saying they're being killed because they're looking for money in unscrupulous ways or whatever that she said. So you have already, as a good lawyer wouldn't say that.
Forgive
I would
me.
think.
Senator, forgive me.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm just thinking like, if your lawyer says that,
Senator,
about you.
Senator, forgive me. People interview badly. And people are usually ill at ease in an interview. And you can say things which amount to being unfortunate, but that shouldn't be the sum total of what this person is. And that's
No,
what
it shouldn't be.
And that is what has been done.
But City, even while at it, there is interviewing badly, but there are also those who are also conducting the interview, because this happened in the House of Parliament, and it came out so clear, and even MPs were up in arms over that specific response. But then again, it is the same house in the committee of the whole house
That
who
passed
approved
up.
her.
So
which
they might
begs
have
the
seen
question-
something that we haven't seen.
This is possible.
Yes, so which begs the question.
And you know what? Let's give her the benefit of doubt.
doubt.
My thing is, and I'm not here to fight a woman, but I'm also here to speak the truth. My thing is, if I'm going to be a cardiologist and I'm interviewing for some random managerial job, I don't know, I'm just giving an example, but the core of it is, the heart. And then I fail in that one question.
The one about the heart.
The one about the heart.
We might have
That
a problem here.
We might have a big problem, because it's not like you failed the one for the eyes and whatever. It's like you're a cardiologist and that one.
So
then it makes people anxious on, if that is what you believe, how are we going to handle this issue?
Let me move away from this.
Yes, let's.
And give an example of something the president said.
Yeah.
About tourism and about whales. And talked about crocodiles.
Swimming lions.
Yes, they are swimming lions. And more to the point, there are lions in Tana River. There are some lions in Kilifi. And there are whales that you find off the sea coast
Yeah.
in Kilifi County.
However,
Okay, when it came out, because you can't even the president, surely. What is he talking about? Okay. People go to Atamu to see whales. Okay. It's a phenomenon. My point is that there's a principle we seem to have here. It's like we predetermine that certain people shouldn't have jobs for whatever reason. Sometimes it's the geographical area they come from, the association that they have. So as we speak and as we comment, the bias is what comes out. And we speak about it as though we have analyzed it in great detail, and then.
But it's really just
analysis.
a subconscious bias.
Yes.
okay, sure. But then if we bring it back and look at the fact that there is a broad-based government in place, whether it's been shoved down the throats of Kenyans, whether it has been consultative in nature, it is there, it exists. Now, there have been talks that perhaps this broad-based government will be toppled in the in the years coming. Interestingly enough, we saw you take a trip, maybe after hours, to the airport to welcome one Dr. Fred Matiang'i. Was it just a welcome? Were you bored at night? Did you?
What do you mean, was I bothered? I have a newborn. I'm just feeling like 24/7.
Exactly.
For me to be at the airport took a lot of effort.
Now tell us, what is
at
that
that hour, because
Okay.
that was literally like past midnight.
Past midnight.
Yeah.
And now you didn't just go to welcome him coming off the plane. You actually sat in the airport for a minute.
Yes.
And you had a conversation.
Yes.
And
I went
he-
inside actually
You
all the way
did.
to
You-
pick him from the
the lounge. You did.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not part of the broad-based government. But by you being there, you made a
What do you mean he's not part of the broad-based government?
Is he part of government?
Everybody is. Broad-based says everybody is welcome.
Oh, okay.
You are welcome.
Thanks.
Everyone.
Okay.
That's why it's broad-based.
Oh, so he is part of government. So you just welcome a member.
Everybody. Here's the thing.
Senator?
My assumption is the moment we said broad-based, bringing people together, my friend, we have opened the doors.
Okay.
Yeah, so it make me a fisher of men. I've gone to fish.
Okay. So
you are-
what can we say now is that you essentially went to the airport to welcome one Dr. Fred Matiang'i to be part of the government. of
No.
the day.
That is misleading. I did not do that.
Okay, what
I
did you do?
went to the airport to welcome a leader from my region, because I do come from somewhere.
Yes.
Yes, and we should appreciate diversity from where we come from. Yeah. So I went. Actually, I was called upon. We were told Matiang'i is coming. I was told personally, like someone called me and they were like, Matiang'i is coming, and we are reaching out to the leaders from that region if you would like to be part of the welcoming committee. I mean, why not?
Okay.
Every day we are called flower girls, and all we do is welcome people. I said, this is a very good opportunity to be a proper flower girl. So I know that guys were like, oh, you know, that
You've
might
made a
give,
statement,
you've made
yeah.
a statement. No, what statement?
That you're jumping ship
just-
and going to the other
yeah.
side.
No, you see, these
that is, thank you,
This thing.
Siti.
But this is why she's right here, and rather than presuppose or speculate, we can ask you directly.
Maybe the statement that I made, which was a bit intentional, is that, well, a lot intentional. The statement that I was making is, listen, at this point, I am willing to look for anyone who can see the passion that I have in terms of executing women empowerment. And if this guys, it's not working out here, you guys, I'm telling you that women are being killed. We should do this. We should do that. You guys are not listening. I'm over here telling you, we have not given sanitary pads. People are giving, but Linda Mama doesn't work because I have been to Pumwani and Mama Lucy. That is where I did all my prints. I am shouting. I'm telling you the thing that you saw me for. You are like, Gloria, you can be a good ambassador,
a champion.
a champion of our women, our manifesto that touches on women. And I've been running up and down telling you, this is what I can do, this is what we can do. And you people are like, you're not seeing me.
And
So I'm out to look for anyone who is interested in bringing pads to all schoolgirls for free, and in ending femicide, and in ensuring that maternal health care is dealt with.
Even if they form their own government?
Listen, I'm like this now. Gloria Orwoba is looking for where it's going to work for the women of Kenya.
so let's say we know that Fred Matiang'i, Dr. Fred Matiang'i, there is talk of him being in the ballot as president 2027, and you're looking for friends. Does it mean come 2027 and you're looking for new friends? Dr. Fred Matiang'i's government is where you,
You know
want to
that
end
so
up.
far, they say a day in politics is like 10 years. So you can't even plan. In fact, I hear people saying, I'm going to vie for women rep. I don't know. I'm like, you don't even know what's going to happen. So what you can do is you can say, right now, I'm a senator. And tomorrow, that is 24 hours, I'm going to go to cabinet and do ABCD. You can't be talking about 2027. Who said we are all going to be politicians? Who said, you know, I mean, a lot of things happen. Who knew that Opiyo Wandayi would be a cabinet secretary?
Even
Meanwhile,
Opiyo
I guess
Wandayi.
he was saying he was going to vie for MP again a third term or whatever. Now he's thinking he might be governor.
Possible.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a day in politics is like a year. So I can only think like tomorrow I can do this. So what I can tell you, for instance, if that question, if I can answer it, is will I join the Matiang'i team in 2027? Let me tell you, next week I will join the team that is going to deal with femicide. Not you are talking about 2027 next week. Next week, but I will join the team that is going to give free sanitary pads.
Okay.
Hivyo hivyo mpaka tufike huko mbele. By the time we are in 2027, we will be with the people who want to deal
Who support your agenda.
who will support my agenda.
So, Sunny
and
says,
that's what I'm passionate about.
The things that you talk about are the rights at the heart of the matter of things that Kenyans are asking questions about, the things that they were told were going to work, the things that they wake up to every morning and they hope that they will actually work. Yes, that there are girls in school who don't have sanitary towels, that there are mothers who are going to give birth and they don't know how they're going to wrap their baby when they go back home. In Kenya today, that they don't know if not that they don't know, there is no fund for women, women's health that was promised was going to be there. In fact, if anything, it was removed. There's a health system that doesn't seem to work. By the way, in your opinion, is the health system, is it working in the way in which it should? I want you to answer that question when you answer the rest of this, that the issues that you bring up, the issues of implementation, are issues that are at the heart of Kenyans' issues. The truth of the matter, nobody really cares about all this fanfare. People are worried about, can my children go to school? Can we eat today? Can we get from point A to point B? Bus. They're not worried about much more. So now, if those things are not being implemented by the government that they voted for and the government that stands every day and makes promises that these things will happen, where is Kenya's hope? So, are things working? And if they're not working, what should be done about it?
So to answer all of that, I'll tell you, this morning I had a meeting with myself. And I sent a very long, maybe you can even say like I sent a chapter to the president. Really long message. And in that message, I was like, I'm so tired of telling you these things that we should do. These things that are low-hanging fruits that can work for the women of Kenya. And I feel like either somebody has decided to delete my messages when they reach and you can't see what I'm saying, or you're seeing, and I don't know what the dynamics are, but the bottom line of it is, me, I am tired. And in summary, I was trying to say that you handpicked me for a reason. And you know what I can do, and you know what our government can do. By the way, there are several women like me within government. I'm not even talking about just me alone. We could be like up to 20 women within government who just feel like we've been like we can't breathe, because every single day we see what's going on and we're like, boss, aki boss fanya tu kitu hapa. So I think that going 2 years in, things can turn. It's just about someone deciding that, okay, I hear you, I see your frustration, and now we are going to start doing it. I don't feel like all is lost. I just feel like there's nothing more I can say. There's nothing more I can do.
But Senator, what can he do?
What can he do, for instance?
Yes, what can he do?
The president gave 100 million to deal with femicide. Yeah? Okay. That time we didn't have a minister for gender. That money was divided amongst us leaders to go and do sensitization. Do we really need sensitization on femicide? No. We need the judicially, the SGBV courts to be empowered to get more magistrates. He can do that. He can equip them. He can push for a budget for that particular thing. Also, we have gender desks that are not functioning. They're in the police stations. I have been shouting at the top of my head, move these things to hospitals, so that the first place where a woman goes when something happens to them is a hospital. There they can get their P3, they can get their OB written down. It can help on the process, because what we need to end this GBV is convictions and people in jail. Then the culture will slowly turn around. So he can do that. He can say, listen, gender desk, let me put, that's an issue that you just talked to two ministries, the interior and gender, sit down, move this thing. Those are very easy things to do, if you ask me, when you have power. When you talk about sanitary pads, he gave us 1 billion. We still don't know where it's going to be domiciled. That's where I came in. I brought my bill. My bill is trying to structure that is basically a ring-fenced arrangement just for pads, because there's also a lot of corruption there under the procurement and distribution. That is something that he can do from the top and say, by the way, this financial year, because we have not domiciled this in this ministry, we can put it there. You talk about the Victim Protection Board. It's sitting in the Attorney General office. They keep getting funding from the Treasury, but what do? They divert it to other things. He can say, going forward, I want to see the programs that are being implemented and the Victim Protection Board, and have it as a cabinet.
So why doesn't he do these things? You say that they're so easy. You say they're so easy to do.
I'm telling you,
why doesn't he do them?
About Linda Mama, I have asked through Parliament for a service charter, because I was informed that Linda Mama was not necessarily removed. It was embraced into a bigger family unit kind of healthcare system. That's fine. I asked for a service charter to know how many scans do women get, what is the post-care for whatever. Till today, I asked for that thing 2 years ago. Actually, no, I asked for it. Wait, my baby is 5 months, and then before I was pregnant. So I can say a year. A year ago. Till today, I have not received a service charter. They just sent me a reply to my statement in all forms. There are so many things the president can just do. I'm telling you, in 3 days. And the women of Kenya, the distribution of not pads, diapers for children, it's just a budgetary allocation thing, and ensuring that whichever ministry is given is actually executing.
So, Senator, one would want to ask.
It's just, can you have more oversight as the head of state on the things that touch on women?
So one would want to ask, all these come under the plan and the promises that came with
and the Women Charter, which the president signed.
Yes. So in terms of all these not being delivered, is it your admission that the government has failed Kenyans?
It's my admission that when it comes to women, the women agenda, the government has failed. That's my admission. There are things we've done well. The agriculture programs, fertilizer, affordable housing, we've done well. There are things we've done well, even foreign missions and things, that's fine. But you see, I came to this team under the umbrella of women empowerment. That's my passion. That's my core. That's all I do. And then when I come and I see the things that are happening, I have to say that we have failed. We have failed. And even you can see in terms of representation, 2/3 gender rule, what did we do with that? So for me, it's just like someone has sat and they said, wamama tukifika huko election, tutawanunulia leso na scarf, waimbe, then watakuja. And what you're not understanding, is it 52% women in this country? By the way, William Ruto got his votes from the women. a majority of his votes came from the women. That's why the Women Charter was a very powerful tool, because we went region, county to county, understanding that the people who, once they give you the vote, they will never move, are women. How can we disregard them like this as a government?
So if you're going to extrapolate, you can't have that. It's just one sample sitting there, that under the women empowerment issues where there has been failure.
Yeah.
So the question is, why do we hear this? And it's not just from your quarters, Gloria, and I'm going to call you now just Gloria. Because let's
That's
be
okay.
real.
That's fine, yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
That it can't just be Gloria who is making. There are other people who started to say, hang on, we've seen cracks and I'm just going to move. We've seen cracks. But then why do we hear this now? Because usually it doesn't take too long for you to see that this thing is not working.
If you've been listening to me for the past year and a half, including all the drama that has been happening in Senate to me, in the public, with a view. Remember that whatever was happening in Senate, it was my party. You know, it was my party.
Yes.
Yeah.
All those things that were happening to me in Senate, that was my political party doing the things that they were doing
To you.
to me. Because by the time even a motion gets to the order paper, it is approved from the leadership.
Yeah.
That's my party. By the time certain things are done, it is the speaker. That's my party. That was my party doing the things that was happening in Senate till today. And even, yes, the other day when they saw me in the airport and they said, oh, how dare you go? I said, oh, you've just remembered I'm in your party. Today is when you've remembered. When you were doing those things you were doing to me in Senate, I was not a party member. I contribute 50,000 Kenya shillings every month towards my party. That was my party executing those things that women were standing with me silently and secretly, because they're also afraid of what could happen to them. So let me tell you, on the basis of all of the things I've said today, if today I was asked, tomorrow is elections, where are you? I will tell you I'm not here, because I've seen what here does to women. But I can also not tell you I am there, because I'm waiting to see
Who will be there?
Who is taking care of the women. I'm waiting to see all that. You can't say ameenda kwa Wamunyoro. Nangoje huko wanafanya nini na wamama? What are they do? What is the agenda for women? Have they said? They have not said. You can't say ameenda kwa Matiangi. I just went to receive him. The first thing I asked him is, I'd like to see your plans for the women of Kenya. Devoid of that, I've just welcomed you. Welcome home. But give me your plans for the women of Kenya. Because me, I'm scouting. Where are women going to be treated equally?
Because here where you
fairly?
are, you are not comfortable with the implementation.
At this moment, I am not comfortable. I am angry. I am upset. I am throwing tantrums. I'm in KTN throwing tantrums.
Welcome.
Karibu. Hot seat. Karibu sana.
And hopefully something turns around and we start seeing the women of Kenya being carried.
By the way, you're
With
not
the
throwing
fairness.
tantrums, Mheshimiwa.
Yeah.
You're speaking very loudly, and you are speaking very energetically. And sometimes to be heard, you need to do that.
Yes.
Because if you speak softly and gently, people will think you're suggesting something.
Yeah.
When you speak loudly,
And you know it has been
Somebody
I've
will
been
pay attention.
threatened. I've been threatened throughout.
don't worry. You
Even this thing of labor exports, there are people who are now even targeting my staff members.
Senator, you will be threatened even more. Because it is what we see in this country when you seek to pursue that which is right and you shine a light on things which are not right, you upset a great deal of people. It's the unfortunate nature of
This
the truth.
labor export cartel,
Yes.
let me tell you, someone even came to me and told me, Senator, they'll kill you. Because if you do tabulations of 171,000, just Kisii County, I'm told they recruited 31 people, Nyamira, 31 people times 171,000. They've done 6 counties. These people have been given money from Youth Fund. If you do that, how many millions are we talking?
Of course, it's quite some money. I mean, we're winding down in this conversation, but I want to ask you, what do you think should be done? Now, please hear me, because you've talked about the fact that there's low-hanging fruit. The president is the appointer of these individuals who are overseeing these particular dockets. You've talked about low-hanging fruit, that he can actually say, you know what, just do this. It's a phone call. Get this thing done. Move this needle in this way. But that's not happening. So what do you think should be done?
Without going into details,
Please.
I think the women of Kenya should showcase their strength. I think the leadership, the women leaders should showcase their strength. I think they should. They don't need to come together. We don't like each other as women. So this thing of come together and we don't need to come together, but showcase your strength and boycott a lot of things. Boycott those meetings. We are going to sit in meetings. You're being put in fourth row. You're always fighting to sit at the front, as if you didn't bring how many percentage of votes to this government. Boycott. And I'm not saying just look at it silently and see where the women are doing things. Women have gone, and I think they should go until someone wakes up and they realize that, by the way, we played a role. We played a role to get into government. The Women Charter was not just a women charter. It was votes that we delivered through promises that our president signed. And I think our leaders, and I know they're looking at me, they're like, wewe unajua umesuspendiwa labda umezoea kupigwa viboko. No. I mean, everyone wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. Boycott. Be stubborn. Even a mistress unaringa kidogo ndio upigiwe simu tena. Kwani why are you always available? Why are you always there, and the women agenda is not being executed? Boycott. Let men go sit in State House and those places and do the things that they want to do. And then if they're going to look for us in 2026, 2027, kufunga vitambaa kwa kichwa na leso, my friend, tutafunga vitambaa kwa kichwa na leso, but we will go with the vote to wherever we are wanted.
So we've come to an end.
Senator Gloria Orwoba, many messages this morning, and interesting to be able to interrogate some of these issues. We're looking forward to a conversation in a very short time. Remember, she said in the political world, 1 day is like 10 years.
It's like 10 years.
So let's see what happens in another 10 years, isn't it?
Let's look and see what happens when she joins another party, as if it will be different.
Who said I'm joining another party?
Thank you so much.
Good morning.
Who said I'm joining another party?
It's 9:01. Good morning.